going to say, I do not need to carry this grief anymore.
I do not need to carry this grief anymore.
Okay, hey everybody. So I've been getting in a lot of questions about what spirit-guided healing is, healing of the vessel that is done by spirit with the assistance of spirit. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration here with my mom, who actually has never had this done. So this is going to be new for her, and I'm going to be doing a short kind of abbreviated version of a healing session. The sessions that I do are usually 30 to 90 minutes, and we're going to do this in hopefully about 10 to 15. So a little bit about the way that I work with Spirit for Healings is that about 2 years ago I met a collective of souls in the non-physical who named themselves Aweiaka. And they are souls who were healers in life while they were here on earth, and they now choose to come through to assist us who are still in body on earth to help us align our energies, return to balance, and they give incredible wisdom and insight into how the body is working, specifically how our bodies are working and what is needed to restore balance. And what they show over and over and over again is that the majority of health diseases, imbalances are caused by emotional barriers and emotional traumas and tragedies that we have experienced and not released the emotions and the energy of the emotions yet. And that really hampers our ability to heal and restore balance. But none of the healing that is done is by me. It is all by spirit. It is by the healers of Aweiaka. And then the energy of the divine source of all. So, okay, so I'm just gonna stop talking for a minute and tune into Mom's energy. And generally when I connect with people, they have a specific thing that they are wanting to work on. So we're gonna tune in here for a minute, and I'm just gonna get grounded, let them start to connect. And so what I do is I start kind of just feeling into the energies in her body, and they start guiding me to where there's kind of weak points in the energy of the vessel, and by weak points, it's where energy may not be freely flowing. But what's happening here is that I do a lot of hands-on work as well too, so I will always ask permission. The reason I'm not at this time is this is my mom, she knows what we're doing.
I gave permission.
But so a lot of tension up in here is actually tightening down in her heart center area. The sternum is really crunchy and tight, and she's going to feel uncomfortable as I'm doing this, and it doesn't feel good, it feels yucky, and it causes her pericardium. What they're showing is her pericardium is kind of quivering, and that gives that sort of yucky heart fluttery sensation, and when that starts up, then down here tightens up. And so this tightens up in response to this, but a whole lot of this tightness is actually coming from shoulders and neck. Which is, she says, ow. Yeah. Okay, so then what we're gonna ask them to do is tell us how we can get her body to stop holding on to this pattern of keeping her neck and shoulders so tight that it's causing her heart to kind of do this fluttery thing, and then it's gonna mess with her digestion, it's doing all sorts of things, but the pattern, what they're showing is actually starting up here, kind of in the neck. Does that feel true?
Very, very true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So part of what Aweiaka does is they help to kind of back up out of symptoms to help us get to a root cause. So some of, she hasn't even told me, but what I think is happening is she's getting heart flutters and feeling chest tightness, and then it's tightening down her diaphragm, and this is kind of messing with digestion, and it can cause it feels like regurgitation, or it feels like heartburn, and then it feels like stuff kind of sits in her stomach. And weirdly enough, what they're showing is that all this is backing up into stress that's stored in her shoulders and her neck. And so we're gonna ask, we ask them how can we get this to release so that it doesn't affect the heart and the or the pericardium and the diaphragm so much. And what they're showing, which is what they show most times for most people, is that this is emotion based, and that this is stress based, and that a lot of this is related to interpersonal connections within the family and fear of loss. So some of that fear of loss is causing a tightening sensation here, and she feels like she needs to fix all of the problems of everybody else in the family. And yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to have her do is a series of deep breaths while I do the tuning fork to help kind of release some of the stress that's stored in here. So do a deep breath and have it fill the top of your chest first, and then your abdomen, and then release. Okay, really blow it out all the way out. Blow out the stress, blow out the tension. There you go. Okay, so then they're saying, do you think that you need to hold this stress right now?
No.
Are you aware?
Kind of.
Yeah. Are you aware of the stress that you're carrying?
Probably not all of it.
They say, why do you think it is your role to hold stress in your body?
To fix things.
And what use comes from holding the stress in your body? What purpose is it serving?
Maybe absorbing it from others.
Does that seem like a worthwhile choice? Do you feel you can serve others while you are holding on to the stress?
Not very well.
In what ways does the stress burden your overall wellness?
I think it tightens everything down and makes me tired.
And what can you not do when you're tired?
Function at my normally high, whatever, place of functioning.
And at what point did you say that it was okay to function at a lower capacity?
Probably after my mom passed away.
My ear popped. And do you remember a moment when you said, I choose to value others over myself?
I don't think so.
So it was a subconscious choice.
Probably.
Okay, and so really breathe into the abdomen down there. Okay, and then we're gonna do
Holy cow.
what does that feel like?
Actually kind of sharp, nervy pain.
Mm-hmm.
Ow, yeah.
Okay, so really breathe into where you feel that nervy pain, and what's happening is that they're trying to create some flow where there hasn't been a lot of flow.
That's popping
So
my ear.
that's that sharp pain, is that there's energy going to a spot where you haven't, where your emotions have not allowed energy to flow for a while. Okay, I'm gonna grab onto your ears here. Alright, so where in your body are you feeling tension?
Back right side of my neck, like kind of below my skull.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, oddly enough, my lower right back, like up above my hip on my lower right side.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is referring down there. Yeah, definitely on that side.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then
Yeah.
right in here,
Mm-hmm.
so did that start when you brought up your mom passing?
Maybe.
So this, what they're showing, without that sounded like a bit of a power of suggestion. what they're showing is that this is grief, right? Grief
Mm-hmm.
stores back here in the back of the sacrum and over the hip.
Mm-hmm.
And so, is this connecting up into the neck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, kind of the right scapula.
Yeah. Okay, so
Ugh. Oh my gosh.
okay, so right now, I want you to set the rose quartz down and put your hands out in front of you, flip them over, hand palms up, and say, gosh, they're going a real weird direction with this, but I just want you to say, I love you, Mom.
I love you, Mom.
Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna say, I do not need to carry this grief anymore.
I do not need to carry this grief anymore.
I know that you are okay, Mom,
I know that you're okay, Mom.
and I know that you are still with me,
I know that you're still with me.
and I am so grateful for everything you gave to me,
I'm so grateful for everything you gave to me.
and I know that I will see you again.
And I know that I will see you again.
And she says, thank you so much for taking care of him, and she's talking about her husband.
Yeah.
And she says, this stress right here is for him. And so she says, he's okay, and you don't need to carry his grief. Okay, this is his grief, not yours, right here up in your shoulder. I'm pushing up here.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this grief over here is your grief for her, and they show this is your grief for him.
It's so much more.
Okay, so put arms down for a minute and push down. Grind, right, so ground yourself down, and then I want you to slap the tops of your thighs for a minute. And say, I am safe here in my body.
I am safe here in my body.
I do not need to fear loss.
I do not need to fear loss.
It's a part of life.
It's a part of life.
It does not feel good.
It does not feel good.
All loss is temporary.
All loss is temporary.
And I know that I will be reunited with those I love again.
And I know that I will be reunited with those I love again.
I know that those I love are still here with me.
I know that those I love are still here with me.
Okay, you can put your hands together for a minute. We're gonna take deep breath right into this area. Good, that's grief. That's the sound of grief. Do it again. Good, and laughter is good. Laughter moves a ton of energy out. It's just as good as crying. There you go. Again. Over here. I now choose to release the patterns of grief.
I now choose to release the patterns of grief.
I choose to open my heart center again. There you go.
I, I choose to open my heart center again.
There you go. So we're just going to say we are grateful to the healers of Aweiaka who showed us this pattern.
We are grateful to the healers of Aweiaka who showed us this pattern.
And we are grateful to the source of all who is allowing divine healing today.
And we are grateful to the source of all who is allowing divine healing today.
We're infinitely grateful to the guides and the angels and the source for this healing.
We are infinitely grateful to the guides and the angels and the source for this healing today.